Despite the fact that we've got many Sims 5 leaks and official information, The Sims 4 is still not being killed off anytime soon. EA have stated themselves they've got years of content left planned for this game, and if they want to keep us playing for years, it's safe to say that there are a lot of problems in this game that need to be changed if they want to keep players happy playing this game. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the most important minor issues that need to be fixed. Obviously there's some major things like bug fixes, simulation lag, wanting cars in the game, but today I'm focusing on the more realistic improvements that I think the game actually needs. Starting off looking at UI changes, we need a much bigger cast selection. This is not acceptable, especially with EA constantly releasing kits and new packs with loads of casts. This surely is not the best way to do it. There must be a better way. Also, it's frustrating because, for example, if I want to filter by only the get together pack, as soon as I move on to another section of cast, it shows everything, and get together as a filter only applies to tops. So not only does the UI need a bit of changing, I do think the filtering system needs a bit of changing as well, especially now we've got kits and we've got like a special category, birthday, but what, there's only one top in birthday, and why is this a birthday top? Do you know what I mean? It just seems very strange to me. Somebody else pointed out as well, with hair, it would be nice to have a hair texture filter instead of just a different kind of hair lengths. Of course, build by could do with some UI changes too. As with cast, we only have a two-tiled grid. With the increasing amount of packs, especially build kits, because we're getting a lot of build kits, this is simply not acceptable. EA can shut their mouths if they want to tell me this is acceptable, because it is not. And again, with the filtering system, birthday stuff, like what has any of this got to do with birthdays? Same again with kits. It's not acceptable. With the amount of kits we're getting, this is honestly just not good enough, and we need a separate kit filter. And this actual filter thing as well also needs to be bigger. And in terms of live mode UI changes, we do need a much better pie menu. This is honestly not very good the way it is now, especially when you click on another sim and you go over to friendly. Like, there's just way too much stuff in here. I personally think it needs to be simplified, because most of these don't really have any differences anyway. The Sims scene do just chuck every single thing in friendly, even though it's not really friendly. I would love to see a whole new change with this one. In terms of specific build mode changes, one thing that really does need to be fixed is curve walls. The way EA has brought out curve walls is extremely sloppy and embarrassing. Look at this glitchy mess. Look at how this wall is not even like touching it, but when I bring it this way it does. The fact that we have barely any windows that even do support curve walls, or barely any doors, or at least nice doors too. In terms of other build mode changes, you can freely slide a door along a wall, but you cannot freely slide a gate along a fence. Another change I want to see is a change to item descriptions. If I type in the word chicken, this is the only chicken we've got, and of course a chicken coop, but this right here is a chicken, or a hen at least, and it doesn't make sense that you can't search for this. This object here is a basketball, but if I search for basketball, it doesn't show up. I do think that a lot of items in The Sims 4, seeing we have so many now, the search filter actually needs to have tags that don't just rely on the name or description of an object, because the Sims team often gives things very, very weird, quirky names that you wouldn't always expect. And another thing that I would like to see is custom collections. This is something that we've had before. We had it definitely in The Sims 3, and I think we had it in The Sims 2 too. You can actually create your own group of objects, and then there'd be a separate menu at the bottom here with the UI, and it would basically allow you to sort by that set. Being able to group together objects in your own collection folder would make build mode so much better and so much more tolerable. In terms of the gallery, we need a lot of changes too. Firstly, you can't sort by packs that you do not own. This is a stupid capitalistic problem that's existed ever since The Sims 4 has existed, and this is because EA wants to peer pressure you into buying new packs. They can sue me for saying that I don't care, because it's true. And I think they need to get a grip and allow us to actually exclude packs that we do not own. Because if I click show owned here, as you can see, it still comes with stuff on packs that I do not own. So this honestly needs to change. With so many packs coming out for The Sims 4 right now, it's so unrealistic to expect people to own all of the packs, and allowing you to exclude stuff from packs that you do not own would honestly make the gallery so much more useful, because right now it's is simply just not useful because people don't own all the packs. Another thing we need to see is the ability to do custom lot thumbnails. As you can see, some creators are actually able to create custom cast ones, which makes it look so much more fun. But with lots, you can't take in-game screenshots, and sometimes they look really ugly in the thumbnail, but they're really pretty when you actually download and install the house. So this is honestly a must. We really need that. And of course, we also just need them to make the gallery not as slow because it's so slow. Also, we need the ability to download and install apartments. The Sims team should have done this. It's not acceptable. You can't currently download apartments on the gallery in a proper way, and it must be done. There's no excuse for it, EA. You need to get it sorted. Next, we need the Sims team to revive the abandoned projects, and that's things that they said they were going to do, but they haven't done and will never do. A good example of that is bunk beds. When the free base game bunk beds came in, EA promised that they would gradually start adding bunk beds for all of the older packs. However, they've only added a few for some of the newer packs, but not updated it for the older packs. So this is honestly a must. We really, really need them to do this. Another thing that they've abandoned is wants and fears for older packs. Right now we have wants and fears for the base game plus high school years. The thing about the Sims 4 pack system is technically there are no old packs. There are just packs and you choose which ones you want regardless of when they were released. So from the perspective of a new player who's never played the game before, they will not understand why does high school years have wants and fears but other packs do not, because from their perspective all of the DLC is available at the exact same time. We also need broken pack fixes. Yes, I'm looking at you Dine Out specifically, and we also need refreshes for some of the most lackluster and stale packs which don't have as much content as the newer ones. Again, from the perspective of a brand new player, there is just DLC. There is no old DLC that was released when the Sims team didn't really put much effort into it. Like from their perspective, there is just DLC and they don't think about when they were released. They just want certain packs, and it's really important that all of these packs are at a consistent level. Moving on to gameplay changes, I think it's really important to actually have a change where you can start a new game without having to make a sim in CAS first. I know this might be a bit of a coding overhaul for the Sims team, but this is a must. This has been a problem ever since the Sims 4 was first released. I do not want to have to create a brand new sim in CAS every time I want to play the game. There's no reason why an entire save file can't just start with the world screen. You can either play with existing townies or create a new one, or just jump straight into build mode. The Sims 4 has always been about playing it your way, so why do we have to start with CAS mode? It's just absolutely ridiculous. We also need some aspirations updated, especially for some of the older packs, like for example Die Now or Get Together, which literally have none. And I would also like to see a rework of the current aspirations to make them a little bit less tutorially and make more sense as an actual life goal. In terms of cooking, many people have said that they want an overhaul to the way the cooking system works, especially if you have the Get Together pack. We have cook versus bake, which are quite inconsistent, especially if you have a sim with a high cooking skill. It can be a little bit annoying. Looking at different ideas for CAS as well, you can randomize mouth scars, eye scars, but you can't randomize cheek scars for some reason, but you can randomize brow scars, but you can't randomize skin details. There are random things like that that need to be changed about CAS. Also, we have styled looks, which is incredibly useful for styling your sims in any way that you like. I also think there's no reason why you can't just create custom styled looks. Like as I said with Build By, wouldn't it be great to have a collection of things you could just easily apply from a preset that you have made? I just think it would make it so much easier. I know I'm gonna get many comments for people saying, well, Satch, we already have this mod or that mod to fix these issues, and the thing is, you can't rely on mods because console players don't have them. You can't rely on third parties to constantly update these mods and prevent glitches from happening. And there's no honestly reason why the Sims team can't just work directly with mod creators. We've seen this in many video games before. Video game companies will work with modders to actually integrate mods as an integral update to the game. This has happened on so many occasions with so many different games. There's no reason why EA can't do this with modders. They've already worked with CC creators to bring CC into the game, so if they could work with the creator of the more columns in CAS mod, or with the mod that changes the UI to make Build By mode expanded, there's no reason why they can't just work with them and say, hey, we want to put this in the game, I'll give you a little bit of money for it, there you go, sorted. There's no reason for them not to do that. There's no reason them for not to fixing these base game integral issues, especially with the game lasting for years. I really hope EA watches this video. Sometimes they watch my videos. Anyways, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any further Sims 4 news and updates update videos, and also make sure you check out the next video here. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.